December 2nd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Partial voice and all here as we're starting off this Thursday morning. Very cold fashion out there. 20s for most of the region for the temperatures for our lows this morning. And cold air is going to be a common theme in our forecast as we go through the next week to 10 days. Let me show you the surface map and the radar this morning. And a lot of rain up in parts of Maine. That's with the system that rolled through our area night before last. Brought all the severe weather. Now look in the northern plains, another area of low pressure. This will be a clipper system that will swing through over the next 24 hours. But all that's really going to be able to do is bring some cloud cover. There's the satellite imagery this morning. A lot of high clouds anywhere from Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama spreading into the Carolinas. And we will see those clouds actually probably becoming overcast. The clouds covering the sky later on today. Now, in terms of the precip, again, I think that, there's some light snow back here in Kansas, parts of Iowa, but the precip will not make it here with that system. It's just too dry. Now, the watch, warning, and advisory situation across the lower 48. Look at the frost and freeze products out all the way down into Florida. Jacksonville last hour was at 28 degrees. And as we get into next week, there could be frost and freeze concerns all the way down into the citrus-growing regions of Florida, which is pretty impressive for the month of December. It's going to get pretty cold. And here's the upper air chart today, big trough over the eastern half of the United States. And that's going to be a common theme as we go ahead in time. Now, we will have another clipper system move through this weekend. That one's looking a little bit more interesting. I'll spend some time on that here in just a second. Today, we'll wind up with a mostly cloudy sky in many spots, and it's going to be a chilly day. Highs only in the mid to, at most, upper 40s around the Piedmont this afternoon. Again, tonight, upper 20s to low 30s, and then tomorrow should feature a pretty good amount of sunshine and maybe a few ticks warmer, upper 40s to low 50s. All right, Saturday, the clouds are going to spread back in. Now, this is the GFS representation. I didn't put the NAM on here. The NAM is indicating even more moisture. And frankly, most of the models indicate a little bit more in the way of precip than the GFS does. But this is the precip from 1 until 7 p.m. Saturday. And then that's the 7 p.m. until 1 a.m. precip Saturday night. And again, a lot of the modeling indicating a little bit more moisture than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw the mention of precip into the forecast that I'm going with on the air this morning. And we'll say roughly I-40 and points north. A lot of that precip could be in the form of some light snow. South of I-40 maybe appear to light rain ending with a little bit of light snow. Light being the key word here. It looks very limited in moisture. It's very tough to get any significant precip in the Piedmont out of clippers. But with that said, I am going to throw that precip mention out there. I don't think it's going to be anything significant, but we'll keep a watch on it to see if it's going to be able to tap any deeper moisture. But right now it looks like more of a novelty than anything else. And boy, it's going to get cold behind this system. Check out Sunday, big time cold air advection. Sunday, 40s and breezy. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it could be a struggle in some Piedmont spots to even hit 40 degrees. It's going to be cold next week. Now, what about that potential system next week? Here's the GFS, and that in Texas and Oklahoma is the disturbance. Let's go to the European. Pretty good agreement, although it's a little slower with the system, but much better than yesterday when the Europeans still had this off the Pacific coast. But let's go back to the GFS here. Notice the orientation of this huge upper-level low sitting over Maine. With it sitting that way, it's just simply going to suppress this system off to the south. You really need the flow to be more west to east, or if not even southwest to northeast with this cold air in place to get one of these systems to amplify. That type of flow is just not going to happen. Now, with that said, if the modeling is overdone with this low over the New England states, then yes, we could wind up with something next week. But taking it at face value, here's what the 0Z GFS showed. There's Tuesday, there's Wednesday, cold and dry. Now, some snow in the mountains with that feed of moisture from the Great Lakes, some upslope type snow, a good possibility for several days next week. But as far as the Piedmont's concerned and the upstate, we need an actual surface system to move through, and the modeling is keeping that suppressed well to our south. Now, again, it might have that low modeled a little too strongly in the New England states. If that's the case, it might allow that system to come farther north. But right now, the modeling is in pretty good agreement that that's going to stay off to our south, and cold will be the weather word next week. All right, that's it for this current edition, today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day today, and God bless.